Right now, freedom and democracy are under attack all across the Western Hemisphere. Throughout the Western Hemisphere, we're seeing a wave of corrupt, totalitarian leaders take over. What's so terrifying is these trends are being enabled not only by bad actors like Communist China seeking to gain influence in the West, but also by radical left-wing socialists in the United States of America. They support the Chavistas and the Castritas all across Latin America. In Venezuela, we are watching Maduro cling to power by any means possible. He understands the threat posed to his illegitimate rule by Maria Corina Machado and other freedom-loving Venezuelans. He wants to dismantle what are left of Venezuela's democratic institutions, and he will target anyone who fights for freedom, describing them as, quote, fascist criminals, and charging them with bogus acts of terrorism. Maduro is showing a willingness to arrest and to kill anyone he needs to in order to stay in power. I'm deeply concerned about the situation, but I'm also committed to ensuring that every single Venezuelan official who cracks down on the people of Venezuela will be held accountable. In Mexico, obviously we're in a time of change, and it's not clear what will happen next. But we do know what has just happened. We have witnessed several years of civil unrest and the erosion of civil society. The current climate is the deadliest ever. Mexico has just become the most dangerous country in the Western Hemisphere for journalists, and it is among the most dangerous globally, with those countries surpassing it right now in active war zones. Again, we're amid a time of change, and it will be important to ensure that Mexico returns to a path of freedom. Sadly, political unrest across Latin America has been fueled by the Biden-Harris administration's backward foreign policy agenda. Under the failed leadership of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, America has consistently failed to support those fighting for a better future in Mexico, in Venezuela, and all around the world. Instead, their approach to foreign policy is ideologically designed to alienate our allies and, tragically, to empower our adversaries. As the son of a freedom fighter who fought in the Cuban Revolution, I understand the reality of political unrest firsthand. After being imprisoned and tortured by Batista's thugs, my father fled Cuba in 1957 to come to Texas and to seek freedom. He wanted to be free to pursue an education, a career, and a family. That's what America is all about, being free to achieve, to live the American dream. But we all know what sort of future awaits Latin American countries that embrace leftist policies or welcome socialism. It is utterly bleak. And Cuba is a sobering example of that, as is Venezuela. So what can be done? How can we fight back against socialist and authoritarian forces trying to crush freedom? Number one, stand up for liberty. Liberty is at the core of conservative values. Liberty works. Liberty is contagious. Number two, never give up. Never, ever apologize for standing for the truth. And number three, last but most certainly not least, don't turn a blind eye to the contagion of socialism spreading throughout Central and South America. I have witnessed the ripple effects of socialism penetrating American society. And I am deeply appalled by today's Democrat Party's increasing embrace of Marxist principles. The only way we can combat this drift to the left is by standing together and shining a light on the reality of socialism and its fundamental threat to freedom.